Hey, good evening. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Tuesday, the 17th of December, 2024. This is just a second video for the same date regarding my loss recovery. This mainly applies to the loss recovery on the MACD Platinum. I did a previous video. If you're watching this one, you haven't watched the other one, watch the other one first, because this just clarifies a few things from the first video I did earlier today. I just got distracted by a power tool that was, I could hear it clear as day, but I couldn't hear it on the video, so it was just, and I lost my train of thought. So I thought I'd do a bit of a better example, so let's get into it. Righto, now all I'm going to do is bring up my chart and a Word document. Where is it? That one there. All right, in that previous video, we had a look at the USD CAD. This is the daily chart. This is for the loss recovery based on the MACD Platinum method. Now, I'll briefly go into it. As you can see, I've marked up the chart here. I've got this Word document on the on the left. Now, let's just clarify a couple of things. If you make some of the loss back on any trade, so if you're on a loss recovery trade, you make any loss back, then just enter with the same position size on the next trade. So if you were down 150 pips and you made 75 pips back or a few dollars back, don't increase the position size. Just go with the previous position size. There's no need to increase your risk there. So I don't know if I mentioned that previously. Also, look at the big picture, where if you have multiple sequences open, and this applies to any of my trading, either look at an overall break even or use some of the profits to help offset losses. All right, so that's pretty well straightforward. All right, let's get into it. Now, I've marked up these trades here, S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. So it's sequence 1, sequence 2, sequence 3, sequence 4, sequence 5, obviously. Reds are for sells, blues are for buys. These little blue trend lines are entry levels or exit levels, combination of both. The yellow levels are the overall break-even levels, and we'll get into that, or the target levels. So S1, let's just bring up my crosshairs here. S1's a sell here. You can look over here. I've even put the price in. Exit on this opposite QMP filter dot here for a profit. No further actions required. You do not have to do any trade management. Even if it's a small profit or a break-even trade, you don't have to worry about anything. So just take sell one, sequence one's finished, small profit. You could have got a bit tricky with this on trade management. I'm just looking at that moving average 20 there, the SMA 20. It looked like it closed. Price may have just opened above it, and you could probably close half or something and get a break even. But we had a small win, so it doesn't matter. Right, let's move on down the list here. So I've got to try, and this is the pair, not only the pair, the sequences we were looking at in that previous video. So that's why I just went back to them. All right, sequence 2 commences with a sell. Here's your entry level here. Opposite QMP filter dot. Now remember, this is the loss recovery on the MACD Platinum, so we're not taking any action there. It's an invalid buy signal. All we're doing is closing this sell trade, taking the loss, 120 pips. I rounded up. If it's 119.8, it's now 120 pips. So there's approximate numbers. Well, there's always going to be a bit of slippage, etc. I'm just using what the open and close prices are on the down here. So we took a loss. This next trade is trade 2, sequence 2, trade 2. MACD Platinum still above the zero level. It's a sell. Take the sell. So that's for 0.3. Remember my sequence, 0.1, 0.3, 0.5, etc. There's the price, 35653. Now, to determine my first target and second target. Now, all my first target is my overall break-even, where if I just close the trade, I'd get out at a break-even price. Wouldn't lose anything on that. I don't want to, because I've taken a sell here, took a loss, I want to recover that loss. That's what it's called, loss recovery. So 120 is my 120 pips loss divided by 3 equals 40. Because remember, this position is 3 times bigger than that. So 120 divided by 3 equals 40 pips. My entry price is 135,653. Now remember, that's if you look at this, that's 65.3 pips. So I want to take away 40 pips. In this case, it'll be 400. That's the equivalent of 40 pips, because that's actually 40.0 pips. These are pipettes. That last 5th decimal place is a pipette, or a 1/10 of a pip. So 135,653 minus 400 gives me my first target, 135,253. That's that yellow line there. And as you can see, bang, hit it. MACD platinum through the 0 level. You got to close out all your trades there. Your trade there. There's only one trade. And recovered your loss. No worries at all. Second target. In case I want to just continue on with my base lot, I can make this target a little bit further away. This is good if you get a big move. I'm not sure if we get an example of that. We might. If you get a big move, sometimes it just blows through the first target. And because these are daily charts, I'm not checking them. I'm only checking them every 24 hours. So it might blow through where this target presents, which will be bigger. In this case, 120 divided by 2. So I want to leave the 0.1, which is the initial base lot in play. So 120 divided by 2 equals 60, obviously. And again, that's 60. That'll be 600, 60.0. So same entry price minus 60 pips, 600 points, 135,053. And that's that bottom line there. So say you missed it on this initial spike down, but then it blew through. You could close out 0.2 on that level there, on the open of this candle here, and then probably put a place in for your 0.1, or even close 0.25 or something like that. You could, and just trail it. But that loss recovery, not a problem. There's your 2 targets there. Sequence 3 was a buy. Good buy. Price closed below the SMA 20, popped up nicely. Once it closed above it, you start doing some trade management and trail this up. You couldn't have lost on that. Sequence 4. Sequence 4 is a sell here. MACD platinum above the 0 level. So there's your sell level there. Opposite QMP filter dot. MACD platinum still above the 0 level. Just take the loss. So there's S4 sell. Exit at 137 for a loss of 206 pips. Minus 206 pips. So your second sell is this one here. MACD platinum still above the 0 level. First target, 206 divided by 3, 69. 69 number is a 0. So 137,346 minus 690 gives you 136656. That's that first yellow line. As you can see, it just blew straight through there. Now, whether you take some action here or not, it's up to you. Generally, if you get a loss recovery and the price closes below the 20 moving average, you want to take some action. You can see it didn't last long. One day later, it popped back up. Second target was at 206 divided by 2. It's 103. Take that away from your entry price. Same price. Gives you that target there, 136,316, which it also just touched the following day. So the smart thing would have been get out there. So the loss was recovered there. Right, sequence 5. Just move this down a bit so we're covering it all. It's just a bit messy. Right, sequence 5 was a buy. So we're on the opposite side here. It wasn't a great buy. As I said, the MACD, the price is above the 20 moving average. So if you wanted to use the 20 moving average as a filter, ignore that trade, that'd be fine. I've taken it because I'm trying to show examples here, trying to stress test the system. So we took a buy here at 0.1, 137,923. Exit here, opposite QMP filter dot, not a valid sell signal because the MACD platinum was below the zero level. We exit, took a loss, 166 pips. Sequence 5, trade 2 is this buy here, in this level here, this blue line here. 0.3 at 135,863. I worked out my targets. There's 166 loss divided by 356. Add that to the price. Couldn't, it's 136,423, which is up here. I didn't even bother marking this target 2 because that's above it. So it didn't reach target 1 at all. So it's not looking good. So we've missed target 1. Let's move that down. So it's gone up a little bit, hasn't reached the target, dropped down, another red QMP filter dot. Exit there. So we're taking another loss. You can see it's not a valid sell signal. MACD platinum still below the zero level, taking another loss. All right, didn't get to either target, so close on the next sell there. Loss on that trade of 183 pips. Now, because that position size was for 0.3, have to multiply that loss by 3. So it gives me 549 pips. Then I have to add the previous loss on trade 1 to it. So it'd be 549 plus 166, which gives me 715 pip loss total. So that's what I want to recover, 715 pips. So you can get away from it quickly if you're not smart about your initial position sizing. So we're trying to recover 715 pips. S5, trade 3. So this is the third buy trade here. It's a valid buy signal. It's good. The SM price is closed below the 20 SMA, which is great. So what we're trying to do now is we've got our target 715. Now, because this is 0.5, it's divided by 5 for the first target and divided by 4 for the second target. Remember, I just want to get back to that base lot, which in this case was 0.1. So if this was 0.8, it'd be divided by 8 and divided by 7. If this was 1.3, this would be divided by 13, and this would be divided by 12. So in this case, 715 divided by 5, 143. So we've got to go for 143 pips on the entry price of trade 3. So it's 1.33168. Have to add the 0 because that's pipettes. Gives us 134,598. That first yellow line there. And see, it just blew through that. See what I mean? It didn't. Price went up and up, came close. Then on that day, by the time I checked that candle, it's already up at target 2, which is there. 715 divided by 479 plus that entry price gives me 134,958. So I basically can get out on the second entry there, place a stop somewhere down here, and the previous loss is recovered. So that's the numbers there. If you're a little bit confused, just go back over this video and go through it slowly, pause the video, have a read. I'm happy to explain any of this. So let's just expand this and we'll just crank on a little bit. From there, because I think I got a little bit, I might have confused you all. Next signal's this sell here. It's a valid signal. Closed below the 20 SMA, I'm out of that trade, or it stops in place. This buy is not valid. This sell, as soon as the MACD through the MACD platinum is through the 0 level, you've got a couple of candles here, close half, put a stop in place. So we didn't lose on that one. Buy here. We're already on the wrong side of the 20 moving average, as we were just about there, even though we opened below it, which is a little bit tricky. Bugs everywhere. All right, buy here. As I said, it's above the 20 moving average, so we lose that, but we've still got the MACD platinum, the 0 level. So a couple of candles up here, anywhere in there, as soon as it goes through the 0 level, we're closing half, putting a stop in place. So that's a winner. Next signal's this sell here, close below the 20 moving average there, can't lose. Now, I think this is where I got a little bit confused. I probably should have done some numbers up for this, but we'll see if we can run through it without the distraction of all the power tools. Valid buy. Now, the MACD Platinum's just below the zero level, and the price is a long way above the SMA 20. Now, whether you take that buy or not, it's up to you. We'll say we're taking it closed on the sell because it's an opposite QMP dot. Took on this buy here. I'm not sure we would have got enough there. Let's have a look. I'll quickly work this out in my head. That's 87, say 90 pips. So divide that by 3, 90 is 30. So all we need is 30 pips. Did we get it? Let's have a look. From there. Oh, easily. Easily. So we'll recover that one. And we're on the wrong side of the 20 moving average, so get out of that. So that one's recovered. This sell's not valid. This buy is not a valid buy signal. Let me have a look. MACD is already at the zero level. It's just ugly. It's way above the 20 moving average. Sell, you could probably take that, but once it goes through the MACD Platinum, you're closing out half. This buy in here is a bit ugly. You could take that, no problems. Got an opposite QMP, fill the dot, you close out, take the buy here, trade 2, and easily are recovered. Sell, that's an easy one. And there's a buy here, that's a winner. Sell. All right, let's have a look here. This could be a little bit tricky. Sell in here. You could get a little bit here at this lower low here. It's a previous support level. Your blue line on your MACD Platinum's pushing through the zero level. You might be considering getting out. You got this opposite QMP for the dot here. It's not a valid buy signal, but it's so close to the entry, you'd probably just take the loss and ignore it. Your next one's going to be a sell anyway. You'd probably be closed half of that because it closed on the wrong side of the. And this is like your trend's going up. As soon as it closes on the other side of that 20 moving average, close half, put your stop up here, get stopped out. Who cares? Valid, not a valid buy signal. Sell. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Sell. You may have not got out there, and because price is gone, MACD Platinum's gone below the zero level now. We're now in buy mode, so we're pivoting from a sell to a buy. Remember, this is the MACD Platinum, and we're going to take the buy here and we'll try and recover that loss on that sell there, which I'm pretty sure we're heading up to right now. All right, I'm just going to pause the video for a sec because I want to try and find a good example. All right, I actually had to drop down to a lower time frame. I couldn't find any examples on the daily chart of what I want to show you, where you do pivot. All right, say we took a buy here. This is the 4-hour chart, USD CAD still. Took a buy here, opposite QMP, fill the dot, close the buy, take the loss. Second buy here, probably wouldn't have recovered that previous loss. Then we've got another sell, so we'd close that second buy, so we're accumulating losses here. Take this third buy, no go, and we'd take the opposite signal, so we close out that buy. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and we're going to take this fourth one. Now, this fourth one probably recovered, I'm not sure. But say it didn't recover, like on that previous example at the tail end of the daily chart, because we've gone, the MACD Platinum's gone above the zero level, we're pivoting to the sell side. Now, because this is a completely new sell signal, what I want to do here, ideally what I want to do here is try and recover any losses from the previous sequence, which in this case would be just like, take the, what's that? What was that? 1, 3, 5, 8. This will be 13. So you take a 13 sell there, and because it's a completely new signal, this, if that was sequence 1, then I'd also take a sequence 2 sell. So it'd be for 0.1. So you'd be probably taking a 14 or something like that, 0.1, 1.4 trade there. Just using that example. And obviously that would recover everything nicely. Buy, sell. Look, you can go through this all day, just play with different scenarios. But generally, if you get on the other side of the MACD platinum gets on the other side of the zero level, like I said in my previous video, don't be afraid to start another sequence, completely independent. And because one sequence gets in trouble, that one can help offset losses. And you can bounce around in multiple sequences. You could have problem sequences both sides of the market, and in the meantime, you'd be taking ones on the inside of the problem sequences and making money. So it's just a way of diversifying a bit, reducing your overall risk. This is a 4-hour chart. Look at this. It gets a bit ugly. Look at this, all these dots here. But again, just look at the MACD platinum, where it goes. But yeah, that's all very ugly. That's why I like the daily charts. All right, hopefully that clarified a few things. I do apologise for that first video. Any questions, hit me up in any of the groups. Hopefully I'll get both of these videos uploaded tonight. Thanks for watching. If you do like them, hit the like button and subscribe button. That's always appreciated. And tomorrow will be the dollar cost averaging videos. All right, thanks.